Here's a very inexpensive RC simulator kit from Hobby King. So it's on their site, and that's the name of it. And it sells for a pretty low price of about 15 bucks. However, when you factor in the shipping cost, that goes to almost $45. So it's not quite as cheap as it might first appear. And I have not tried this product out, but it looks like it might be reasonable. If you do already have your own RC transmitter, here's the cheapest route that I've found for setting up your own RC simulator to teach yourself how to fly RC airplanes. There's a package called PicaSim, which is free. You can donate, but it's found on that website. And so you download this package and install it on your computer. And you will also need a cord to connect your transmitter to the computer. And Hobby King sells a USB to JR type trainer port. So if you have a JR Spectrum, some of the Hobby King radios have this same type of connector right here that goes into the transmitter, and then that plugs into the USB port on your computer. So this is a fairly inexpensive item, $5. So if you purchase this and download the PicaSim software, you've got everything you need. To make this work, you take your trainer port cable, and on my Spectrum radio I will plug it in, and when you plug it in you will hear it turn the radio on, and that will happen on Spectrum radios. Some radios it might not turn it on, and you just have to flip your power switch. But for this one, it's already turned on when I plug in the trainer port. Now I take the USB connector, which is the other end, and I plug that into the USB port on my laptop. And it's important that you do that process first before you start the PicaSim simulation, which I'm going to do right now. And when you do that, it has these icons at the bottom. The first thing that you want to do is to go to the settings one, which looks like this gear. And when you click on that, if you already have your radio plugged in before you start the simulation, it will recognize that you have joysticks that you can calibrate. So the very first thing to do here is to click on the joystick. And now you've got to calibrate the joysticks. If not already checked, you want to make sure that you enable the joysticks. And then you scroll down through the settings here to set up the various joysticks that you have. Learning to fly the basics of RC airplanes, you're probably going to want to learn to fly 4 channels. So that means that we're going to have 4 sticks here that we need to calibrate. So in order to find out which stick you're actually looking at, which stick corresponds to which joystick, what you want to do is take your radio and move one of the sticks and see which one of these values is changing. So on this first joystick, I have it mapped to the speed stick. That can be changed by simply moving this slider right here. And if you move it, you can move it to yaw stick, pitch stick, roll stick, and so on. So this one says speed stick. So let's see if that actually corresponds to the throttle on my radio. So I will move that value to 0, or to the bottom, and you see that it goes to -1. And I move it all the way up to the top, and it goes to 1. Now if that weren't the case, I'd have to calibrate it, and I would do that by using these buttons right here. So what I do is I set my throttle position right in the middle, right there. And now I come over here and I say press when centered. I click that button, and now I go all the way down, and I go back to the screen and I say click this press when left or down. And then I go back and I move the stick all the way up and go back here and I click on the button that says right or up. And that's calibrated that stick. So now it recognizes the max being, or the min being -1 and the max being 1 and the center being about 0. So then we go ahead and map the rest of the sticks the same way. So on a mode 2 radio, the left stick up and down is going to be your throttle. The left stick left and right is going to be yaw. So if we scroll down to the yaw stick, I should see I already have this mapped to joystick number 3, what it's calling joystick number 3. And now if I move my stick all the way to the right, I get 1, and all the way to the left, I get about -1. So I've already calibrated this stick also. So you want to do that for all 4 of them and make sure that they're mapped to the proper settings. So the yaw stick will be the left stick on a mode 2 radio going left and right. And on our mode 2 radio, up and down is pitch, and left and right is roll. So I map those sticks as well using this same interface. When I'm all done calibrating the joysticks, I go over here to the back button and I click on that, and now I'm ready to fly the simulator. So here's the PicaSim front panel interface, and I'll click on Free Fly. Now it gives me the option to select different planes. There's a lot of gliders on here, and there are a few powered airplanes. In order to check out the complete operation of all 4 sticks, I'm going to click one that has a throttle, so I'll click this airplane. And now it's waiting for me to do something to start the simulation. So I'll just click my mouse in this window. Now it's ready to go, and you can see that the plane is responding, and to check that out, I move my roll stick to the right and I get aileron deflection. I move my pitch stick down and I get elevator deflection. And then I move my yaw stick and I get rudder deflection. So all the surfaces seem to be doing what they're supposed to. In order to check the throttle, I'll need to start the simulation, and I do that by going up here to this play button and clicking that. And now the plane is ready to go and the propeller started moving even though it's on low throttle. When I hit the throttle, it should start to go. So there I go. And I'm off.